Here's Julia still doubling down. You literally just further proved that I was legit because I had to show a legitimate agency proof that my credentials were valid in order to purchase Canine Gator's badge. Way to go. Thank you. Oh my God, Julia, give it up. Give it up. This is horrible. I think you need to, Granny. This is effed up, man. Ethan was in Queens earlier. I'm looking at his ex. This is his ex. A dog handler? I don't know about that. Yeah, they definitely use Chat GPT. This is nuts. I mean, this is actual receipts of. He says, "What did you do? Show him your Costco card? Badge and wallet may require verification of identity for any order. They don't check her. They didn't check her fucking creds. Badge and wallet, anybody can buy from there, Julia. You're a fraud. You idiot. USPCA doesn't have badges and you're not a handler for them. You can't just put that on a badge and magically become whatever you want. The bail enforcement badge is for sale all over the internet too, Captain Nutcase. Wow.
He talked to both of us, but he talked to Steph in person. He talked to me on the phone.
Yeah, do you want to talk about that?
I'll just briefly touch on it right now. I mean, I don't want, like, without getting argumentative. Basically, the result is like, no, I'm not to search the house. We've been denied. TBI, yes, TBI did clear me. There's screenshots I know everywhere of, like, when I'm fine with that because it's the truth. There's screenshots everywhere of, that being there, about me being approved by Bobby from TBI, Agent Simmons. I spoke to the sheriff on the phone. He was cool with me. But ultimately, it's Chris's decision and Katie's decision because of the homeowners. And the reason why that is I'm not employed by Sumner County. I'm not one of their deputies, and I'm not employed by TBI. Even though I'm federally contracted or the DoD. I'm not one of their officers, so I'm considered an outside agency. It's a liability thing with them. It's just like, what if, like, I were to walk in and slip and fall and hit my head? Like, then they're that's most. It's that more so because they told me I was cleared. They're like, you have a DoD security clearance, and like all that stuff. Grammy, yes, that's up to the sheriff. Honestly, this is the sheriff, but yes, that's yes. I'll leave. That's a thing.
That's
It
a
still
thing you
exists.
can do is get deputized. What does that mean exactly? I don't know what
Um,
that means.
basically, it's not like something like some states any civilian can do it, but basically, I would go to the sheriff and I would request, I'm requesting to be deputized. He'd ask why. I'd explain my credentials. He wants proof that I've done something military related or police related, and I've been an MP for 15 going on 16 years now. So it's been a long time. Those dates, that's 15 to 16, I would say, because I had like a brief, like 3 month period I was out, but technically it's not considered a break in service, but like papers were weird in the military. But he would look at that because I have my graduation certificate, which is one of the documents he actually already has because I sent it over. Um, and it's equivalent to the Act 120, which we have here in Pennsylvania, which is like the police academy. Um,
Were you able to talk to the officers more than just the main investigator, Bobby? Any of them that were out there with dogs to kind of kind of pick their brains or anything like that?
No, I just talked to somebody from what is it, the whatever the
Equisearch?
Equi search, yeah, or like that. I mean, like it was interesting. The sheriff was fine. Truth to like the sheriff was fine with me. Coming out there, he was cool with me. Oh
The
God,
sheriff
this
was cool too. So Bobby at the TBI was all about it, and Eric Craddock was cool with
yeah.
it too.
Yeah, but originally I think they forwarded my paperwork to Carter, and I think he's the deputy something deputy sheriff, and then they forwarded it to Bureaucratic, and I think somebody actually said they messaged him asking, like, was I denied? And I think somebody in one of the Facebook groups said they called him or messaged him asking if I was denied, and apparently they said no. I don't know if that's, I think what I read. I don't remember, but I remember thinking somebody was saying they were going to ask him. But I'm fully transparent. I got nothing to hide.
CP
Mm,
didn't want the dogs to search. He didn't give a reason. He just said denied.
yeah, there wasn't. He even said my credentials checked out, and just like
Did you think that maybe you would connect with him on a military vet level?
we
I mean, that's
actually
kind of
did.
shocking that you didn't.
And I think that's why I was so mad, honestly, because like CP Six Ball. Okay, that's an
Especially with
interesting
both
name.
of them being vets, right?
Yeah. I mean, again, so this is 2 days after the Web Sleuths interview. Sorry, I don't mean to announce, but like it was after the interview. And then we talked on the phone, and initially when it first started, I was like, "Hi," and he was like, "Hey," and there was like quiet for 15 seconds. I'm like, "So you want to hear about my dogs?" And then like I started talking, and like we talked for like an hour and 15 minutes. He said an hour and a half. I thought it was an hour and 15, but tomato tomato. Um, and we talked about stuff outside of like canine stuff because I really didn't want him to think like right out the gate I was going to attack him because I know he saw my angry comment. He said that to me in a message. He's like, someone sent your comment to me. I think it was with the 25% thing, but I didn't want him to think that like, you know, I was just like, no. So I didn't want to think I was attacking him. So I mean, we had a conversation about he's been deployment wise. I don't want to say it just because he doesn't want me to say it and like whatnot. We talked. We talked about what he did, what I did.
Mhm. Oh, so you did connect on that level.
Yeah, we did, and I think that's why I was so upset when like he said I was denied, and then like the whole like, oh, that ain't happening, not even my idea. I'm like, that's not what I remember, and I was like, I kind of was like crushed by it a bit, and I was just like, okay. Um, and I think that's why I was like so like angry initially, and like probably a little too emotional on
He
Facebook.
made
And
you
I
jump
openly,
through hoops. I mean, you and Steph. Look what he did to Steph.
yeah, and I mean, I understood, like, to his, yeah, I would be, someone's like, "Can you blame yourself for being skeptical?" Yeah, I mean, like, I don't blame him for wanting my credentials. I want credentials too.
Right, right.
But it was the fact that it was like a week and 2 days later, I finally heard back. It's just like, where's like, what are you doing with my stuff for like a week? Because I sent my military ID over there, and like, I don't normally send it to anybody. Um, but yeah, why does somebody want to see my DD-214s? I don't need to send them my DD-214 unless you're talking about Katie and Chris because my social security number's on that and I'm still actively serving. So I only have DD-214s like post deployments. So it's just like I'm still serving. So I don't have my,
Mm.
unless you're talking about Chris and Katie. I was gonna say like I don't know, like I don't put that document out there to anybody. The only person who's ever seen that is the DMV when I got my driver's license, put the little veteran thing
He wanted
on my
that?
thing. No, so I saw in the chat about seeing somebody's D214s, and I hope they weren't talking about me. Because I
Oh.
was like, no, I don't. First of all, like, I'm not searching your house. So yeah, and second of all, just no. And
La la
yes,
la
Sunflower,
la la. You don't know the
Sunflower, if you're in
count.
the service, you know how important your cat card is. And it's just like I was really trying to prove, like, I have nothing to hide. You can like this is how upfront I'm being. Like, here's my military ID.